We're going to talk now with Assemblyman David Hadley. He's a Republican, and he offered
from the Torrance area.
He offered a bill where the legislature would do an audit of what's going on, and it got killed in committee. All the Democrats voted against it.
How about that?
So let's get David Hadley on. David, how are you?
Great, John. Great, Ken. Great to be here. Thank you.
All right. To me, clearly, this high-speed rail is run by a bunch of criminals here. And they're lying to the public, and money is being massively wasted, and it's just an absolute scam from top to bottom. Why wouldn't the legislature not only do an audit, just do a massive investigation of this whole enterprise? What's going on here?
You know, I really find it hard to believe as a first-term legislator. I mean, this is the largest public works project in the history of the United States, running at $70 billion and counting. And just this week, the Joint Legislative Audit Committee, which is the committee of the legislature responsible for starting the oversight of the executive branch, voted not to audit the High-Speed Rail Authority,
okay.
a 180-degree wrong decision.
So they don't want to audit because, what, they got a phone call from the governor? They all got big fat checks in the mail? They got a horse's head in their bed? What's the reason?
These guys are all acting like they're on the same team. They're covering for each other. Last year in the legislature, our job is to oversee the executive branch. Last year, the legislature voted over my objections to reduce the frequency with which the High-Speed Rail Authority has to report to the legislature from every 6 months to every 2 years. That is no way to know what is going on with this project.
Well, they don't want anyone to know.
They do not want to know.
This is on
they
purpose.
Want to spend the money.
Well, that's what I'm saying. This is beyond trying to argue this. It's clear they know what's going on. They don't want to stop it. They want all this wasteful spending to continue on this boondoggle.
Right, and you already said that the LA Times has done a very good job highlighting the cost overruns that the High-Speed Rail Authority did not report to the legislature. This is somewhere between, multi-billion-dollar incompetence and a huge cover-up. But we can do something about this. I am, as you mentioned at the top of the show, I'm a rare Republican in Los Angeles County, and in fact, I beat a Democratic incumbent in 2014. That hadn't happened in the whole state of California in 20 years. And one of the reasons I won is that I was resolutely opposed to this high-speed rail project, and nobody in my community to this day knows where my opponent stood on this issue.
Who did you beat?
The voters of California. I beat an incumbent named Al Miritsuchi.
I never heard of him.
Who could never explain whether he was for or against this, but he had voted for the budget appropriations when he was in the legislature.
Well, so then you're going to make this the prime target of your first couple of years in office, then, chasing after this high-speed rail.
The biggest single thing we can do for taxpayers on the spending side in this state is to kill this project now. This project is never going to get finished. The only question is how many billions of dollars and how many thousands of acres of farmland we tear up before we give up. And, my district is Torrance, Manhattan Beach, Palos Verdes, the South Bay of Los Angeles. It takes us 2 hours to get from Torrance to Dodger Stadium. We're not really worried about trying to get from, Union Station to San Jose in 4 or 5 hours when we can better spend taxpayer dollars improving roads, improving local transportation. And Southwest Airlines gets me from LAX to San Francisco to Oakland to Sacramento in an hour for $100.
All right, but you probably studied the issue the way we have for many years now. I mean, you know what we're up against here. We got a governor that just loves this high-speed rail. Clearly, this Democratic-controlled legislature, with what they did about this audit, loves this high-speed rail. There's a lot of connected people, all the contractors, everyone else. I mean, besides the courts, is there any other way to kill this? Because we can't. The thing that would be great is to get it back on the ballot. It would lose.
Yeah, this would absolutely lose on the ballot. One of my goals is to form a coalition to collect the signatures necessary to get this back on the ballot in November of 2016.
Well, we'll help you.
And if we get this on the ballot in 2016, the voters of California will send this project packing. And that will save us billions of dollars before we inevitably stop this under the next governor. I have a lot of respect for a lot of what Governor Brown has done in some areas, but this is an epic mistake, and we really need to stop it.
All right, Assemblyman David Hadley, thanks for talking to us.